How has the pandemic changed how you mark Remembrance Day?
You know, I'm not sure. Typically I've been in school for Remembrance Day, so there's typically some sort of Remembrance Day ceremony through the school. This year specifically, this is my first year in Ottawa for Remembrance Day, so I think that's pretty special, being in the capital city. I'm looking forward to some of the events that they're hosting here. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get together with a couple of my friends and go down to the Canadian War Museum, because on Thursday nights they have free admission.
I don't think it's going to stop me from coming out here. So I suspect that where we are today, I can't imagine a lesser turnout than last year.
It has not changed at all. I still take a moment to think about Remembrance Day, to think about the soldiers who fought for us to have what we have today. Yes, it can be a hard time, but we do what we can, and we have to reflect on the time that it takes.
Well, we should come to the cenotaph, and even last year, even though things were obviously not normal, but we usually just, as a couple, come and
pay our respects.
Pay our respects, yes, yeah, and we will this year as well.
Yes, it's the fact that we couldn't meet like we used to at our different places where we met, but now is getting back to the point where we can. We're having an appointment. We're having a meeting at our Legion in Wedgeport on the 11th, and I appreciate that. I really enjoy that.
If you don't feel a level of indebtedness to these people, and recognize Remembrance Day regardless, I mean, if you can get out and go to where Remembrance Day is being marked, I mean, I don't understand why people. To me, it kind of angers me when I hear opposition to that. I mean, it's I just don't understand. You know, I never, of course, was able to serve. I'm way too young, but just basically knowing what I know, I'm forever indebted to the men and women that served this country, gave us the freedom, lest we forget, right? Lest we forget.
At the end of the day, what's important is how you feel and what you believe.
The awareness is the most important thing. So I think whether virtually, whether in person, I think as long as there's meaning and campaigning and, the conversation is being held, then whether a pandemic, no pandemic, and hopefully in the future we'll figure out how to get through this, but the meaning has to be there and the awareness has to go on.
We will do it in conjunction with some of the people in our condo building, where we'll all go onto our balconies at the 11th hour, 11th day of November, and we will mark with a moment or two of genuine reflection and thought, and of course, silence out of respect.
Oh, that's a good one, because I'm pretty COVID conscious. I'm not sure. I'll see when the day comes. You know, I often do go to the cenotaph and stand with people to remember, but I do it at home too, and I think that's important. So see what the day brings.
I regret that we couldn't get together last year for Remembrance Day, and in fact we were just talking about that, about Remembrance Day for this year, believe it or not, just like literally in the last 30 minutes. So
yeah. Do you plan to go out and actually go down to a cenotaph or to celebrate with local veterans?
We usually always try our best.
We do.
Yeah, we work for ourselves, so there were sometimes we weren't able to, but most definitely we'll be here this year.
I don't think the pandemic is changing much at all. We'll still be allowed to go outside. Last year it impacted us a little bit more. I would say because we were uncertain as to what we could do outside. Today we can certainly go at 11 o'clock and express our thanks.
Well, Remembrance Day for me is this Field of Crosses, because we can no longer get together and thousands of people at the cenotaph on November the 11th, unfortunately. But having the Field of Crosses here allows individual people to come down and pay their respects individually or in family groups at a time when there aren't hundreds of people circulating around. So it does allow people to have that, and that's what I'm so happy to see the Field of Crosses for.
Yeah, it's going to be a different year for sure this year. Normally there's thousands of people down here. It's
It's probably going to be different this year. We're not sure exactly what's going to happen.
Remembrance Day is marked a little bit differently these last couple of years due to COVID restrictions, social distancing, wearing of masks, and the gathering in public spaces restrictions. These last couple of years, Kelowna has not hosted November 11th ceremony, so our Field of Crosses opening ceremonies and sunset vigil on the 10th of this month have stepped into that gap, and is another way for the community to mark Remembrance Day.